Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are officially available in certain parts of the world, and I'm going to break down everything you need to know before you start playing the Sinnoh remakes. Let's dive in.
Butterfree, go!
Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I brought you guys a brand new video today, and today we are diving into everything you need to know before you jump in to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. At the time this video comes out, it is already released in Australia, but it doesn't come out in America until tomorrow, and that's when my coverage will begin, as well as my 153-hour live stream marathon on twitch.tv/aDrive, so be sure to tune in. But I've got a handful of different things on my checklist for you guys to remember before you dive into your Sinnoh adventure. So make sure you guys hunker down, grab some popcorn, like the video if you guys enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss out on our epic Pokemon gameplay. And if you haven't pre-ordered the game yet, I've got a link to Best Buy in the description below, and it helps me out a ton if you pre-order it. The digital version should be available for pre-order soon. So seriously, it helps me out a tremendous amount if you use my link, and it doesn't cost you extra. So if you're gonna pre-order it, use my link, it helps me out. But again, there's a handful of things that I want you guys to make sure you have in the back of your mind before you play so you don't miss out on these awesome things. So let's just dive into it because there's a lot to cover today. Some of this stuff may be a recap if you played the original Sinnoh games, but some of this stuff is a really good refresher. So let's start with it. The first thing is you can indeed shiny hunt your starter Pokemon. Now, I'll make you guys aware that you have to sit through about a 90-second, 100-second cutscene because you have to save before you enter the lake. And you won't be able to see if it's shiny until you throw it out in battle, but you can indeed shiny hunt the 3 starters, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. So if you want to get a shiny starter, that's how you're going to do it. Before you get to the second gym, you have an opportunity to get 3 mythical Pokemon. You can get a Manaphy egg through the mystery gift, you can get a Jirachi, and you can get a Mew. The Jirachi and the Mew are going to be located in Floaroma Town, and they're given to you if you had played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee and Pokemon Sword and Shield on the same Switch. Very easy to grab, highly recommend it, whether you're going to use them on your playthrough or not. Those are going to be awesome. You cannot shiny hunt the Mew and the Jirachi though. Now in terms of the Manaphy, it remains to be seen whether or not that can be shiny hunted. I actually don't know at this point. I'm sure we'll find out soon, and if I get an update, I'm going to make a video on how to get the Manaphy anyway. But there's a chance that you can shiny hunt it, but what you would have to do is you'd have to create a new save file every time, right? You start a new save file, you get the Manaphy egg, you hatch it. If it's not shiny, you delete the save file and you start again. That's how you would shiny hunt the Manaphy, because the Manaphy is going to be determined once you receive the egg from the mystery gift. So it was shiny possible back in the day when they gave out a Manaphy egg, but we don't know yet if it's going to be shiny huntable. So I'll keep you guys posted as soon as I hear, and we're going to make a video on that tomorrow anyway. The Underground is an amazing place in this game, and you access this actually before the second gym. The Underground is home to a ton of TMs. I mean, some amazing moves to your Pokemon, as well as exclusive biomes that allow you to access Pokemon that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get without the National Pokedex. There's a ton of Pokemon you can get, like Absol and Scyther and even Munchlax, and it's a great place to explore. So definitely set aside a few hours of your day to play and explore the Underground, because I'll tell you, it's actually quite magical, and there's plenty to do. There's a little Diglett side quest that you guys can do as well that allow you to kind of boost your shiny chances for a short duration. And the Underground has a higher shiny chance in general, although it's not a huge difference, it does make a difference. So if you're looking for shinies, the Underground might be the place to go. It's also important to note, and I'll talk about this in a future video about the Underground, but the Pokemon that spawn in the Underground are determined as soon as you enter the room. So if you want to reset or try to get, you know, different natures or hidden abilities or whatever, you want to exit the room and then enter again, because then they're going to be reset. If you're in a room and you try to soft reset the same Pokemon, it's not going to work. So just some food for thought there. Honey trees are back in the Sinnoh remakes, and they are important to use and utilize every single day for multiple hours. There are 2 particular Pokemon that are incredibly rare in the honey trees, Heracross and Munchlax. Now Munchlax appears in the Underground, but Heracross does not. So if you want to get a Heracross in your game, I recommend lathering out those honey trees every 6 hours is when they're going to spawn. And you ultimately have about a 5% chance to find a Heracross. They can be pretty rare, and only certain trees will give you a better chance. It gets a little complicated, but any tree can get you a Heracross. It's just really hard to get. So I recommend tackling those honey trees as soon as you get access to the honey, which is right around the Valley Windworks. Speaking of Valley Windworks, there's a special event that takes place every Friday, which is the day the game actually launches in the US, and that is Drifloon. Drifloon will spawn right in front of the Valley Windworks and allow you to catch it. You can soft reset to get to the shiny, but ultimately it only appears on Fridays. One of the cool things you can do is you can actually change your clock to 1 minute before Friday, so essentially 11:59 Thursday night, and the clock will roll over to Friday and it'll actually spawn the Drifloon automatically. but be aware if you change your clock at any point in time, you freeze all in-game based events for 24 hours. That means your honey trees, your berries, everything are frozen. The only exception is that you can get that Drifloon, but again, you have to set it 1 minute before midnight. Spiritomb, the Ghost and Dark type Pokemon, can be accessed before your 3rd gym. You actually get access to the odd Keystone right before Hardhome City. A dude in the corner actually gives it to you, and from there you can access the underground and talk to 32 different people to ultimately be able to spawn that Spiritomb at the Hallow Tower, which is right before Salacion Town. It previously was that you had to talk to 32 different people online, but I believe NPCs count nowadays, so it's not as bad, and you can shiny hunt that by soft resetting for it. So if you want to get a Spiritomb on your playthrough, it's a phenomenal Ghost and Dark type Pokemon that can deal massive amounts of damage and can hit from both the physical and special side, so pretty cool Pokemon. There's 2 particular locations in this game that often get forgotten, and that's the Fuego Ironworks and Iron Island. Fuego Ironworks can be accessed as soon as you have access to surf, and you basically surf north from where Valley Windworks is, and there's some really cool stuff there, like a Firestone, another Honey Tree, Flamethrower, and a couple battles against some trainers. But the big one is Iron Island. Iron Island is located north of Candelave City, and you actually can go there and team up with a character named Riley, who's gonna give you access to a Riolu egg once you finish that little quest. So highly recommend you check out those 2 locations, Fuego Ironworks and Iron Island, so you don't miss out on some of the things you can do in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And speaking of Riley and some of these other characters, I highly recommend you take advantage of the double battles that you get throughout the game. Cheryl is one of them in Eterna Forest, Mira in Wayward Cave, which is after Eterna City, Riley in Iron Island, and then in post-game you have 2, Marley with Arcanine, Buck in Stark Mountain, and Marley is in Victory Road. Those 5 different double battle trainers are one of the most optimal times for you to shiny hunt in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You do have to be careful that your teammate doesn't actually knock out your shiny, but it's a great opportunity to get a shiny Pokemon because you essentially have 2 encounters at one time, and you're healing every time afterwards, and it makes it so easy. I know for sure I'm gonna try to be shiny hunting once I get to Eterna Forest and Cheryl, but again, once you complete that forest, you can no longer access that double battle anymore, so that's one of the most optimal times to shiny hunt in the game, especially since we know the the Shiny Charm doesn't really make a huge impact unless you're breeding. So highly recommend you take advantage of those shiny hunting mechanics if you're doing a shiny playthrough as you go through the game. I can't wait to dive into Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl with all of you on my 153-hour live stream marathon. It's gonna be an absolute blast. We got tons of giveaways, prizes, and much, much more. So explore the Sinnoh region with the aDrive Army crew. We're gonna have a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope you enjoy your trip back to the Sinnoh region. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.